Good Thursday evening, West Michigan. The time sits at 7:55. I'm meteorologist Blake Hansen. Alongside me is meteorologist Amber Twardy. And Amber, thunderstorms are now starting to get their act together, nearing our lakeshore communities, likely within the next hour. And the expectation is from the Storm Prediction Center, a tornado watch will likely be issued for some of West Michigan. It does appear at least along and southward of I-96, those communities in the vicinity of I-96 and places southward. Let's get into it. This is the look out of Grand Haven, and you can see a very stormy look behind us. People still on the beach. They don't have much time before some of these storms are going to be pushing in. But we talked about this, Amber, over the last few hours. We've been looking at that thunderstorm complex to our west, and now it's finally getting its act together.
Yeah, it really started messy, but finally we're starting to see this organization, but especially this Boeing segment that's now offshore from Kenosha. It will be traveling further to the east-northeast, likely between about Holland and Muskegon is where I think this thing is really going to be arriving.
Right in there. That's where this Boeing segment is looking very likely. And by the way, Amber, I was able to put a sampling of the wind here. And right now, our main risk is still in the way of damaging straight line winds. Look at some of the wind velocity here, and what we're talking about is a sampling of the winds a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, but some of these samplings are indicating wind gusts in excess of 60 to maybe even 70 miles per hour, at least in certain points, and that is what we'll be looking at over the next hour or two as these storms come through. It does appear that those that are at the lakeshore will likely see this arrive. Primarily, we'll go broadly near and south of Muskegon as the higher risk at the lakeshore within the next hour. So between 8 and 9 o'clock, that's our time frame there. With wind gusts, our main concern, potentially 60, 70 plus miles per hour. And we also, with that tornado watch, likely going to be issued from the Storm Prediction Center. We're waiting any minute now for this tornado watch to be issued. Is that the risk for tornadoes a bit on the elevated side because we likely could see some embedded tornadoes in this squall line, this bow echo that could form.
Some strong enough wind shear within some of the lowest levels of our atmosphere, which means that we've got some twist, we've got some rotation that can create some of those tornadoes that could pop up along the line. So yes, wind is our main concern, but if you get that little notch within a line, that can create that rotation and result in a tornado.
So the bottom line here for folks that are watching us, we're just interrupting programming for a few minutes here, and then we'll get you back to regular programming. The NHL Finals are on. We are going to respect the NHL Finals as much as we can tonight. If we do have to interrupt the game itself, we will be cutting our programming into a split box. One of the boxes will be the game itself muted. The audio will be muted. The other box will be myself and Amber doing coverage with our audio on. I do want to just kind of give a quick sampling of when this line could come through over the next, we'll say 90 minutes or so. And again, it's looking like about 8:38. That's when it would be arriving towards Muskegon, just a touch earlier for those at the Duck Lake State Park. But again, down the line towards Holland and Grand Haven, probably roughly in that same time frame, about 8:30 to 8:45 is what we're aiming for here. And if this continues its progression, this would be reaching the greater Grand Rapids area between 9 and 9:30 in the evening. So there's our heads up for those at home. We'll see how this continues to evolve for places eastward of the greater Grand Rapids area. But for those at the lakeshore, Muskegon, Grand Haven, Holland, Saugatuck, South Haven, that's the greater opportunity for these strong, damaging straight line winds and potentially an embedded tornado within that line. Something we'll really be watching over the next 45 minutes because, again, we're looking at about an 8:30 to 8:45 arrival of these storms at the lakeshore. And here's the thing, these storms have been intensifying over the past hour. And there's no reason to see that these will weaken as they approach onshore. So again, the timing here is 7:59. We're about 30 seconds away from the top of the hour. The NHL Finals will be on our air here at WZZM. Again, we are going to respect the game as much as possible by working around that with a split box, the game in one box, our coverage in another if need be, if we do have to interrupt regular programming. But for now, you can also download the 13 on Your Side app. You can watch our stream there and watch us continuously throughout this evening with any coverage that needs to happen.